and welcome to the broadcast. I'm your host today, Maggie Cavanaugh, and I am here today with Corine. And I am super excited because she's a really cool sister. There are many times where you are just cruising right along in life and you meet someone or see someone and you're like, I like them. I like what they do. I like their attitude. I like the way that they handle life. She is a journalist. She is also an amazing singer. And I really want to encourage you guys. This Friday, her new single is being dropped and you need to hear it because I listened to it last night and I was like, I like this. I like this a lot because it kind of got me going and made me feel like, yeah, I got this. Yeah, I'm going to add it to my exercise list. So, because it'll get you up and going. So welcome to the broadcast.
Oh, I'm just fortunate to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I am honored to have you on here because I was telling her before the broadcast, she's a real life journalist. That's what her gig is, her day gig, where she makes her money and all that. And I had to get tickled because I'm an amateur, right? I just do this for fun. I do this to encourage and inspire people and to show people out there that there are some neat people that they need to stop and listen to, some neat people that they need to stop and say, hey, wait a minute. They get it. And so you're one of those people that get it. Being in journalism for how long now?
Don't go there.
Okay, she started when she was 3.
Started when I came out of the womb, and I actually had a late start. I was in my mid-20s, so like in 2000 maybe. I went to school. I covered sports. I did what I could to build my portfolio because that was important. It's still important today. So I would say the 2000, maybe 2000.
It's a long time to be in an industry.
I was just starting out. I think I want my first job salary was 2008. It was at a newspaper, a community newspaper. And girl, let me tell you, I could not handle those deadlines were fierce.
Oh, goodness. So when you're working for a newspaper versus like a magazine, like right now, you're working for a Christian news journal, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes,
so how does that vary when you're working? Was that newspaper? Was it just a regular secular newspaper?
Yeah, it was your community newspaper. And what happened was when Facebook launched, they were losing so much revenue. They cut back staff and what have you. So it was your traditional, like your local newspaper where, you may, pick up and get your coffee. And they had a hard time transitioning. I was like, digital's where it's at. And I'm glad I had that mindset because the industry was changing.
Industry's changing all the time, and social media has really done a lot whenever it comes to the entertainment industry per se, as far as television shows and things like that. But you have a background in music. And so let's talk a little bit about that. How did you first know that I feel this, I love this, I want to do this?
I hate to say I don't remember. I mean, honestly, I was like 4 and 5, 6. I don't know. I was always singing. My mom was always singing to me. She always had like a Barbara Streisand on and always had the radio on. Aretha Franklin. I mean, she had those old records and they were just like, it was incredible. So I would say very, very early on, I would say.
I love that. I was reading that Aretha Franklin was one of your people that really inspired you. And after hearing you sing, I can see that. That's the Queen of Soul.
She is the Queen of Soul. And Whitney Houston, of course. I mean, that was just my, the late 80s, I don't say late 80s, mid to late 80s. And it was my influence. I was always drawn to that and drawn to the energy behind soul music. It just felt authentic to me.
I love that. I love that. So what was your favorite project that you worked on when you were actively involved in all that? Or do you have a favorite? I know that's a tough question. It's hard to narrow it down.
For music?
Yes.
Can I be honest with you? I'm going to be honest with you right now. I mean, worked with Anna Ross. She was my vocal coach. She helped me put the EP together. She's a writer, executive producer on it. This is in. It's taken years to get to this, just to get here. It just started. It was during COVID, And she, it was on social media. She was, taking students. Okay. And it was on Duran Duran's Facebook page. I'm like, no, this can't be legit. It was legit. So I would say now, what I'm doing right now, bar none, bar none, bar none.
I love that because there's a time and a season for everything. And we all know that there are gifts and talents that God places in us, but bills have to be paid. Just like you went to college, became a journalist because you needed revenue. And the entertainment industry can be very up and down, very fickle, and all kinds of things going on out there. So in this season of your life, it just seems like the pleasure of the Lord is on it because you already are grounded in all of the balanced areas of your life. You've got a little girl, right? Yeah. She's 5. Is that right?
Yeah.
It's so fun. It's so fun. And you've got a successful career. And now here's God saying, okay, honey, I put this gift in you. It's time to birth it.
I feel that way. And but I want to make sure. I don't want to get carried away. Look, I mean, like as soon as we're done with this, I'm going to be doing my journalism thing. I don't take anything for granted. But I think so. I believe so. I believe so.
Now, Anna, you mentioned Anna Ross, and you also mentioned Duran Duran. So, like, I'm from that era, okay? I love Duran Duran. And I will not start breaking out in song, which could happen at any time because my brain
can just totally rock it, girl.
So, you have not heard me sing. It is a joyful noise to the Lord, but painful around everybody else. But I love it. I've always loved music. I have 2 brothers that are musicians. I grew up the baby and 9 kids. So my catalog and my brain for music is very broad. Okay. Right. So, but you mentioned Anna Ross. She is very accomplished.
Yeah. I couldn't believe, it still stuns me to this day. She's she has her own music out. She tours. She just came back from the States. Duran Duran was at Austin Limits. And and she is she's so inclusive. She has her independent, I just want to let everyone know, she has an independent artist group just to help, so we can help each other. It doesn't have to be music. It could be, I don't care, sewing, something, to connect people and to help them generate revenue. So she's an entrepreneur. I mean, she's just amazing, but you would not think, she's very humble, she's a real deal. I have a lot of respect for her. She treated me like she was very good to me, and she's good to her people. That. Yeah.
That's beautiful because I'll tell you, that's where we know the pride comes before the fall, and being humble is a key, and working with people like that, it just gives us that sense of security in a sense. It is.
Exactly. It's like, people are people. I mean, I just see them as people, maybe 20 years ago, I've been like, oh my, who knows what maturity wise, spiritually too, how I would have reacted. So yeah, I like nice people.
Yeah. Nice people are cool. That's why I do what I do. I know the coolest people on the planet. Yahoo. So I love that. And I love the collaboration of giftings and talents. And it's not just center focused on one thing. It sounds like she's one of those type of people that you work with, and she can extract from you the things that maybe you're like, I don't know about that. And it's like, no, here it is. Let's pull it out and let's do this thing.
I didn't want to do Aretha Franklin. I didn't want to do Amazing Grace.
Why?
I didn't want to do it. I don't know. I was like, yeah, you're crazy. She's like, let's work on that. And yeah, she was. And she's like, that was the right decision. I was like, okay, I think you're right. I think you're right. Sometimes it takes someone else to see something that we can't see.
Yes.
It's like God. It's like, you can't, his plan and his purpose for us is so much greater than our minds can even probably can comprehend. So it's kind of, I think, the same thing. Sometimes people try to extract that, like God tries to. Some of us are late bloomers, and that's okay.
That whole late bloomers thing is overrated because there's in the book of Ecclesiastes, it tells us that there's a time and a season for everything. Right. And so this is a season where you can really flow in that gift. So would it be too much to ask you to sing just a teeny tiny bit? Because see, I heard you and I was like, whoa. And listen, y'all, this is over social media. Can you sing just a few notes or a
Sure.
few bars of Amazing Grace? Is that too much, or is it too early? Are your vocal cords warmed up a little bit?
Oh, I didn't warm up. It's how about Human? Because Amazing Grace
Yes,
is
yes.
just.
Okay, yes, let's do
Are
that
you cool
because
with
that's
that?
coming out this Friday.
Yeah.
And I am super excited about that. And I'm going to put the link in the chat stream for those of you watching this on social media. And for those of you not watching on social media, if you are watching this on Creative Motion, tell them the link of where they can find that song Friday.
They could find it on my Facebook. You could go to Corine. You could find it, of course, on here. It's on herenow.com. You could just search that on Google. The links aren't made available to me until like Friday.
Okay.
Through Spotify, and they'll be on Spotify. It'll be on Amazon, Deezer, all the distribution networks, but I don't have them yet. So I'm just telling people to go to, Here Now, like herenow.com, and they can search find me. It's Human. Yeah.
I love that. Can you give us a little bit of background about the song?
Yeah, while I was doing my lessons, I broke my leg. I was in bed, and I was just like, I was very depressed. It was just not a good time. And I just felt like I had to be Superwoman. So it was really about being a Superwoman. And then I'm like, I'm not a lyricist. I'm not. I'm not. And so I was like, Anna, this is what I have. I was like, this is what I have. And she transformed it into Human, and that we're all fallible and flesh and blood. We do the best we can. And I was like, yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. So that's how that happened. And she just ran with it. I mean, she created the music. She did the arrangements. Duran Duran's Don Brown is on it, the guitarist, and so many just talented people. I would never thought that from putting some words on a Word doc. But I was in a bad place. I was in a bad place emotionally.
Some of the best songs were birthed from bad places. You look back and hit musical history and like Fleetwood Mac's Rumors album. I mean, they were all going through personal trials. They were going through divorces, relationship issues, all kinds of things. And some of the, best songs from that LP, okay, I'm showing my age. I'm saying LP here. Yeah, it's true. Was written from a place of pain, written from a place of distraught. And so being down with a broken leg and feeling like, God, I can't do this stuff. I feel so helpless. It comes from that. So I love how what the enemy meant for harm, God turned around and used for good. And they connected you with the right people at the right time to do the right thing. I mean, just the dude from Duran Duran, that is impressive. I love that. So I'm from that era. I loved that band. And the music, it sounds great. So sing just a little bit of the song, if you would.
Sure. When love has crossed that line and I can't remember the rest because I've been put on the spot and I love it.
Y'all, that's not the song. That's just the song that came up out of her belly as a result of me throwing her out there.
I love it. I love it. That's when things are fun. I like spontaneity.
I love it. I love it. Well, you guys, I'm going to put the song in the chat stream Friday. As soon as it comes out, I'll share it on my page as well. So if you cannot find her, make sure to check my page because it will be there.
Thank you.
Super duper exciting. So you've done a lot of great interviews, and being someone that interviews people, I always enjoy each and every one because it's always different. I love the different personalities. I love the different temperaments and things like that. So what has been a really someone that you just remember really loving interview? What is the most person that you really enjoyed interviewing?
Oh, can I be honest? That's very difficult. I mean, Harrison Ford, and people were probably so sick of people that know me were sick of hearing that, but he that was probably him and Antonio Banderas were probably the biggest. Well, then yeah, I mean, I gotta be honest, I don't know how I didn't puke during the interview. I'm sorry, I'm such too much information, but
I love it.
They were just the professionalism with them, and I got it like Dolly Parton. Now, Dolly Parton, she was not only professional, but she had that warm, just some warmth about her. She's she's genuine. So where they were just like, these guys have been doing this too. They're very professional, but they made you feel comfortable. Dolly, I would say Dolly. And she's like this with, I think, everyone. She's just like really a cool chick and very warm. So I would say Harrison, Antonio, then maybe I think Dolly. I think Dolly would be another one. Yeah.
Those are very impressive household names of people. So you have been honored to do a lot of great interviews. So is there anything major you're working on right now as far as journalism goes? And also tell people how they can follow your articles. Would they go to the Christian Journal News, or where would they go to follow you on that?
No, I appreciate it. Thank you. The Christian News Journal. It's the Christian News Journal. Just Google us. We're on Facebook, and we can really use the support. It's very hard to what we've talked about walking that fine line. And it's all about, readership.
Yes.
And we're competing against some big people. And it's, we're very, blessed by the Lord we have good leadership. We have great leadership. And she's my mentor also to me. And we're trying to build it. It's been around for a while, but we're trying to get it to the next level. So they can just Google us. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. We have more of a presence, I think, on Facebook, to be honest. And you can find me there as well.
I love this. Our girl Kristin's in the house, and she's saying that Save a Prayer and A View to Kill, best Duran song ever. So I love that. She also pointed out, Anna Ross is so sweet. What a beautiful soul she is. We totally agree with that. We were talking about that, and I didn't see these till a few minutes ago. So sing it, funky white girl.
She's another one that's just so, Kristin is just, I met her in really when I was in a deep depression, and she just would encourage me in my gifting. She really has that gift of encouragement, and her husband, Kevin, they do so much. And I'm not just saying that as a kiss up. This is just fact. So, and it's not View to a Kill or Save a Prayer, by the way. How about Planet Earth? Huh?
I've got she wants you to sing it, Funky White Girl. So I'm like, yes, I love that. So she is fun. And you know what? It is the real deal. The real deal. Yeah. They are very authentic. Those that know me know that I just love this couple. They put me on Creative Motion Network, and they didn't know me from Adam's House Cat. But obviously, it's been a good thing, and it's been a great relationship because they're authentic and they're real. And their heart is to take, people and put them out there for the purpose of spreading the gospel, furthering kingdom business, and they're all about that. So Kevin worked on your imagery, didn't he?
He did.
He's good. He's good. I'll just let y'all know, Kevin did. He took my branding and created, took the music from my intro. My brother, Steve Creech, wrote. And then Kevin took my branding pictures that Justin Kaplan did. And then he created my intro and my outro. And so, he's so gifted. So gifted and in so many ways. So, look, he's on here with us.
Hey, Kevin. And he's a great writer like his wife.
Kevin and Kristin in the house. So we're so glad to have you. Kristin says, we love you too, Maggie. And yes. And that's what's so cool about social media is that we get to meet people that we normally would not get to. I'm always talking to parents and spouses about the dangers of social media. I have this love-hate relationship, okay, because I know what it's doing to the generation as far as the toxicity of it, but there's the good side of it. And so they're taking the good side of it as well as you with the Christian News Journal and taking all of those things and bringing it into light for people to find truth. And
it's like that double-edged sword, and all of us even get social media fatigue. I know I do. I told someone the other day, I'm like, I just need a break. I just need to just a break. It's like a break from the news. But exactly, it's a tool that has been used and it could be so powerful. I would have never met you. I would have never met Kristin. I would have never seen, Anna. I would have been in my own little thing, bubble. So yeah, it's a double-edged sword, but it's how you use it, and it's okay to take a break from it. It's totally cool. You need to do that. Yeah.
Exactly right.
Mhm.
Detoxing from all things and getting in that still quiet place where you
Yeah.
can hear things like, you know, go, let's sing, right?
Or
Yeah,
gosh,
Janet
don't
with
say
us.
anything.
We love hearing you sing. And Janet's on here as well. Janet Harley, she's got an amazing. Do you know Janet?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, she has an interview platform. So, Janet, reach out to this lady. She's a lot of fun. So, and
You're
it just recently premiered on Creative Motion Network as well. And I was
very
honored to
cool.
be on her show. But she's another person that where it's all about the kingdom. And it's like this
Mm,
family of God. You know, we're brothers and sisters, and we're trying to pull forth what God is saying through the gifts and the talents that He's given us. So, being gifted with journalism,
mhm.
that is quite a crazy thing. And I know before the broadcast, we talked a little bit about all the chatter out there, and there's such a lack of integrity
Right.
in as far as that goes. But what has been like your favorite? Do you have a favorite piece that you worked on, or a favorite topic, or anything like that?
That's such a good question. Oh my gosh. I think censorship,
It's huge, huge.
censorship with social media.
Yes,
Um, I did a piece on socialism and what was going on with Venezuela at the time. It's still going on.
yes.
So that was yeah, I would say those pieces, and unfortunately, they're like a year and some old, but look where we are, and we're still dealing with it. Um,
Absolutely. Yeah, and those are, like you said, they are current issues, even though it might
yeah,
have been written a while back. And that is
yeah,
what is priceless about, having good journalism, having honest integrity come forth is so lacking in that industry right now. So I love this. She said that the real deal, Janet, you will love talking to her. Oh, yes. So Janet says yes, she will. She will reach out to you.
thank you,
Yay.
Janet.
Yes, yes, she is super precious. She does God stories, so she's going to want your God story. Okay, so that be thinking about that, praying about that. But
Yeah.
yes, and Kristin is just affirming that you'll love talking to her. She's real, raw, not afraid to speak God's truth and love. In Jesus' name, Amen. So that right there, sister, is what it's all about. Speaking the
It
truth
really
in
is.
love and being real, raw, relatable. But with the level of integrity, I always have this vision. You remember that film? And I can't remember. I think it might have been Jack Nicholson, where there's that scene, and it's like he's talking, and he's like, "You can't handle the truth." You remember
Yes.
that? I don't know what that was from. A Few Good Men.
Isn't it A Few Good Men or
Yeah,
something?
A Few Good Men, I think.
Yeah.
But that has always stuck out in my head because I deal with people a lot,
Yeah.
and they are they want to stick their head in the sand. They want to pretend like everything is, oh well, it's all good. And we do need to stay in this season of life, we need to stay focused on the creator of the earth. As long as our eyes are fixed on him, we will
Yeah.
be fine. But there are so many people operating in fear, and there is so much narratives out there that are it's just messing people up. And it's sometimes you feel like that. I know at least I do. I'm not a professional journalist like you, but do you ever feel like people can't handle the truth?
I don't think we as journalists can handle the truth, to be honest
Mm,
with you.
wow.
Um, I think it's a human nature thing, and that's no one likes to go against culture. No one wants to go against the flow. And Jesus talked about that. I mean, we are in the world, but not of the world, and
That's right.
it's very difficult. It's very I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be real with you, and that's what's important to me is just being honest. I'm like, I want to put my head in the sand. There's some. I just don't want to. I don't want to deal with all
I
this.
know we're like, la, 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 la.
And I'm the queen of it. I can do it. I can do it. As journalists, you can't. You really can't. And we're limited with our resources and so forth. There's only so much I can do. So there's just some things I'm like, I don't want to touch this. I really don't want to touch it. But I'm like, this is what's happening. I got to do it. And it doesn't matter what political party it is
Right.
either.
That's right.
And I don't want to really get into politics because that's a whole different thing. But there's evil and good, and it's a mess. It can be in both parties. So,
Yes.
I was raised, a Democrat, and I was like, they can do no wrong. And I found out, and I grew up, I was like, okay, they can do wrong, they can do wrong, they can do wrong, you can do wrong. So integrity, be truthful to yourself, and but yeah, we can't keep our heads in the sand.
Yeah, I have my own philosophy, and I'll probably offend somebody by making this statement, but politics is poly means many, and ticks are blood sucking, and so I have a really hard time with it. I vote the Bible. I do. I'm just seriously, I vote the Bible. I vote my moral convictions, but I think a lot of times there's so much focus put on things that are external and not eternal.
Right.
And we really need to keep our eyes on the Lord, which hence, Kevin's over here begging. He's saying, please sing a few lines from Amazing Grace. We all want to hear your majestic voice. It is so beautiful. I mean, I just heard just a little bit, from the single and so forth. And I'm like, I can't wait for this EP to come out Friday. And so she was willing to do a little bit of something, Kevin. So come on, give us just a little bit of something here. Amazing Grace would be amazing.
Okay, yeah. Amazing grace. Okay, now, Kevin, we're cool.
She did it, Kevin. Okay. I know we all want more, but this is why we need to get the EP. You need everybody out there. You need to support this artist because the reality is that she's incredibly gifted. And I'll tell you, when you started that, I had hair stand up on my head, and I'm just being gross here. I haven't shaved my legs in a while. On my head, on my legs, all over.
I love you. I hate you.
I'm just a little too real sometimes.
Oh, I love it.
You get the tingles, and it's just like, woo! That was beautiful. And like I said before, I could totally see the influences of Aretha. So that's absolutely beautiful. So, he got us fixed for the day. I love it. I love it. I love it. So shout out to Kevin Kevin, you did a great job on the cover. I used it. Yeah, of course you can't see it right now, but I used it for the image, and I'll be using it for the image on YouTube as well. That is so cool. You had her beautiful face up close and a little far away, and it was just so cool.
I look kind of 80s, don't I?
I love the 80s.
And the 80s are returning.
Yes. Yes. 2022 is the new 82. Pre-babies, so things were different back then. So it's awesome.
A lot bigger hair next time.
Yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. I have absolutely loved our time together. And for those of watching the broadcast, make sure you please do go follow her, get this CD or EP that's coming out. First song will be released this Friday. And then again, Amazing Grace will be coming out, November 1st? Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
Yes. I love that. I love that. Kick off the fall season with really just some beautiful, beautiful vocals with a classic song that is just absolutely gorgeous. I love it. Love it. Love it. So if you could leave the audience with a key. Okay, it could be any key. It could be a quote. It could be another. You can sing some more if you want. I would sit here and listen all day long to you singing.
I don't want to bore them.
No.
That's I don't want to be too self-indulgent. I just want to actually encourage people to push through and use the gifts God's given them and get involved, whether it's the church, whether you have a heart for the homeless ministry, something. It's taking that risk. And sometimes we're going to fall on our face. We have all been there. I've done it many times. I'm going to do it again. But just use your giftings. Use your gifts. Use your gifts and where the Lord's leading you. If I can add anything else, and just find a scripture that speaks to you, that the Lord's speaking to your heart, and just be okay, anchor yourself to that scripture. Because greater he that's in us is greater than he that's in the world. And it's a very tough time for many, many people. So lean into your gifts and above all, lean into the Lord and use your gifts.
It's so incredibly important, because I know a lot of people whose gifts, they either they think it's just for a season. There's a reason and a season for everything that we do, but God has placed those and deposited those into people, and when we don't use it, we're really holding back from people being blessed by something that God is trying to get out into the earth. So I'm so grateful that you are stepping back into the music industry after a little bit of time of focusing on your career and child raising and so forth. And I can't wait to see what the Lord does with your gifts. And it's not self-indulgence, it's shameless self-promotion. God wants you out there. And unless you tell people, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Now, if you were like, it's all about me and my new CD and that's one thing. But you have an amazing gift and talent that God wants to use to reach people. And so I love the transparency of you talking about that song was birthed from a place of pain. Yeah. And I think that's where all good songs come from, is there's purpose in the pain. And so if you are watching this broadcast and you do not know my sister, you need to go follow her right now on social media. You need to read her articles. And I want to encourage you guys on social media, on Facebook, and I'm going to find the link here. Go save this right now. Go follow this right now, because real is important in the season. The truth with love is important in the season, and you're not going to get it on your secular news channels. Matter of fact, please turn off your TV. You know, all of the major mainstream. Okay, I'm going to get in a lot of trouble here. I'm already flagged on Facebook. So what more can they do? Suppress me some more? It's okay. I've got Kristin and Kevin. They'll put me on creative motion. I don't have to have this, but all the major news influencers out there, they are all owned by the same handful of people in the industry, and they all have a narrative and they all have something they're trying to get out. So if you want true news, if you want to know what's going on, if you want to see the difficult topics of, like, you know, the increase of socialism or the dangers of social media or anything like that, go read some of her work, because it is authentic, it is pure, it is good, and it is informative. And that's what you want from a good journalist. So thank you for the work that you do. And thank you for the music that you're allowing to flow up out of you. So you guys, we will see you here next time on Keys to Your Best Life. Thank you for being on the show.
A pleasure. Thank you for having me.
God bless you guys. Have a fabulous day. Make sure that you make today count. God bless.